The first spiritual test that the chosen ones face is challenging and comes without warning. It does not ask for permission. It simply places you in front of a situation that demands one thing: to face who you truly are. Throughout life, we learn to define ourselves by titles, achievements, relationships, and material possessions. We create an image that we present to the world, but this test dismantles all of that, like a strong wind that blows away the superficial, leaving only the essential. This test places you in front of a mirror, not the physical mirror, but the one that reflects your soul. No masks, no excuses. It asks you to look directly at what is there, beyond the appearances and layers. This moment can be terrifying, like staring into an endless abyss. You begin to ask yourself, who am I, without everything the world says I am? Who am I when all certainties disappear? For many, this confrontation is unbearable. Most people retreat, going back to the safety of their comfort zones, where they can continue believing in the stories they've created about themselves. They prefer to hold on to illusions, because the truth can be painful. But the chosen ones are different. They do not avoid the mirror nor the abyss. They stay there, facing themselves and resisting the temptation to run away. They face the discomfort and ask the hardest question anyone can ask. Who am I really? This question is not asked out of curiosity or superficiality. It is not something that is questioned just because it randomly appeared in the mind. It is a question that burns from within, that unsettles you, and doesn't let you rest until you find an authentic and deep answer. The chosen ones understand that this test is an invitation to transformation. Facing your inner truth is not an easy exercise. Often, it means acknowledging flaws, fears, and parts of yourself that you would rather ignore. But it is also in this confrontation that you discover your strength. When you strip away everything that is external, what remains is your true self, the one that does not depend on titles, approvals, or external accomplishments. This process of self-discovery is the beginning of a deeper journey. It redefines your relationship with yourself and the world. Without the masks that once protected you, you begin to live in a more genuine way, aligned with your essence. This is the true power of passing through this test. The freedom to be who you are, without fear, without excuses. Few make it this far. It takes courage to stand firm when everything you thought you were is questioned. But the chosen ones accept the challenge. They know that the pain of facing the truth is temporary, while the fruits of this confrontation are lasting. They know that this is the first step in a journey of spiritual growth and evolution. So look at yourself. Ask yourself, who am I beyond the definitions the world gave me? Allow yourself to feel the discomfort, because it is in it that true transformation resides. This is the first step to align with who you truly are, and with the greater purpose that is within you. 2. The challenge of silence. The trial of facing oneself. We live in an age of constant noise. Social media, work commitments, family interactions, and external distractions seem to fill every moment of our day. For many, this constant cacophony is a way to escape something deeper. But the second spiritual test that the chosen face demands exactly the opposite: to withdraw from this chaos and confront the silence. This is not just the silence around us, the absence of sounds. It is the inner silence, the one that emerges when you choose to disconnect from the external world and sit with yourself. This test compels you to face your mind without filters, to listen to the echoes of your most intimate thoughts, and to confront the fears and desires we often prefer to ignore. In the silence, something arises that has always been present, but that we rarely hear: your inner voice. This voice, muffled by years of external distractions, begins to manifest, revealing truths that may be uncomfortable but are essential for your growth. The problem is that most people fear what they might find in this empty space. They are afraid to confront their own shadows, to see what they have tried to hide or forget. This fear leads them to avoid silence, filling every moment with occupations or distractions that require no introspection. But the chosen do not run away. They understand that silence is not the enemy, but the gateway to something greater. They sit with their doubts, fears, and insecurities, allowing these emotions to surface. Not because it is easy or comfortable, but because they know that it is in this silent space that the deepest answers can be found. By embracing silence, the chosen discover a connection that goes beyond words. It is a direct link to their essence, to what is most true and authentic within themselves. This experience can be challenging, but it is also incredibly liberating. Silence teaches lessons that noise never could. It reveals the stories we tell ourselves and forces us to confront what we need to change in order to grow. In silence, you learn to differentiate what is truly yours, your dreams, values, and desires, from what has been imposed by others or by society. This test also demands patience. Silence does not always offer immediate answers. Sometimes it feels empty, uncomfortable. But it is in this discomfort that you learn to trust the process and find strength in your own presence. The chosen understand that silence is not merely an interval but an opportunity to reconnect. It is in silence that creativity flourishes, intuition becomes clearer, and true peace is found. They know that, to hear the truth, the noise must be silenced. So, how do you react to silence? When everything around you quiets, do you feel peace or restlessness? This test is not meant to be conquered in a single day. It is a continuous practice of allowing yourself to be with yourself, without judgments or distractions. The chosen not only face silence, they learn to appreciate it. It is there that they find the answers they have always sought, not in external voices, but in their own soul. Embracing silence is one of the most important steps in the journey of self-discovery. Whether you are a chosen one who has already passed this test, or someone just beginning to face it, remember, silence is not empty. It is full of truths waiting to be discovered. Allow yourself to hear what has always been there, and you will see how the simple act of being silent can transform your life. 3. The test of detachment, letting go to move forward. On the journey of the chosen, one of the most transformative challenges is learning to let go. The third spiritual test confronts us with our attachment to the past, to resentments, expectations, and even dreams that no longer align with our purpose. This test demands courage to release what no longer serves us, even if we have built our identity around it. Letting go does not mean giving up or abandoning what is important. On the contrary, it is an act of trust. It means believing that what is truly meant to be yours will find its way back, while what does not belong to your journey will naturally fall away. But this is not easy. Our human nature compels us to hold on to things, to control outcomes, to keep everything within our grasp. Detachment goes against this instinct for control, requiring strength and faith. This process does not happen quickly. It is a path that requires patience and self-observation. Often we think we have learned the lesson, but life places us back in situations that challenge our ability to let go. Perhaps it's a relationship that needs to end, a dream that needs to be reimagined, or an expectation that needs to be adjusted. Each time we face these moments, we are called to practice detachment once again. Letting go is not an act of weakness, it is a sign of strength. It is recognizing that not everything is within our control and that there is a greater flow guiding life. It is accepting that some things must leave to make room for the new. Imagine a tree that every autumn lets its leaves fall. This cycle is not about loss, but about renewal. When you release what is no longer necessary, you create space for new experiences and opportunities. However, this test is also deeply emotional. Letting go can bring pain, uncertainty, and fear. There are moments when you may question whether you are making the right choice, whether you should hold on a little longer. But the learning comes when you realize that true freedom lies in trusting the process. It is allowing life to flow without resistance, accepting what comes with gratitude and what leaves with grace. The chosen understand that detachment is a powerful tool for transformation. By letting go, they do not lose. They gain clarity, peace, and space for what truly matters. Each time they pass through this test, they become more aligned with their essence and better prepared for the challenges ahead. And you, are you holding on to something that you should have already released? Allow yourself to reflect on what might be holding back your growth. Learning to let go is not easy, but it is one of the most liberating steps you can take on your spiritual journey. Letting go is trusting. Trusting is growing. The Valley of Transformation. Overcoming inner darkness. Among the most profound spiritual challenges is what many call the dark night of the soul, a period of intense disconnection and loss of direction. This test plunges you into a phase where everything seems to fall apart. Relationships that once felt foundational begin to crumble. Work may lose its meaning, and your life's purpose seems to slip through your fingers. You feel completely lost, surrounded by uncertainty and emptiness. But it's important to understand that this experience is not a punishment, it is a purification. It doesn't come to destroy you, but to strip away everything that isn't true. This phase discards illusions, limiting beliefs, and dependencies that do not align with your essence. It clears the ground so that something new and more authentic can emerge. This is the point where many give up. Despair can become overwhelming, and the absence of clear answers makes it seem like there is no way out. But the chosen understand something crucial. This darkness is temporary. Even when they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel, they keep moving forward. Deep down, they know that this is a necessary stage of transformation. The dark night of the soul is like a spiritual winter. Just as trees lose their leaves to prepare for a new season, you are being called to release what no longer serves you. It is a period of pause, introspection, and deep reevaluation. In this process, you begin to uncover strengths you didn't know you had, and discover that your true light shines brightest in the darkest moments. Passing through this phase doesn't mean eliminating pain or fear, but learning to live with them as you continue to move forward. The chosen face this journey with faith, trusting that, even without a clear path, the light will reappear at the right moment. And when you emerge on the other side, you are a renewed version of yourself, stronger, more aware, and more aligned with your purpose. If you are going through this period, know that you are not alone. Take a deep breath, trust the process, and keep walking. Transformation is waiting for you, and at the end of this journey, you will see that every step in the darkness has led you to a new light. The test of trust, believing. Even in the absence of evidence. Among the most challenging tests a chosen one can face is the test of faith, which often emerges at the darkest point of the dark night of the soul. This is not a test of religious beliefs or external spiritual practices, but of your ability to trust in the unseen. It's about finding strength in something greater, even when everything seems to be falling apart and there is no clear sign that things will improve. Faith, in this context, is a deeply personal experience. It does not demand proof or guarantees. On the contrary, it asks you to believe in the existence of a greater purpose, even if you cannot see it at the moment. It's like walking across an invisible bridge, trusting that each step will find support, even without seeing what lies ahead. During this test, pain and fear become constant companions. Doubts arise with force, whispering that perhaps there is no way out, that maybe it has all been in vain. These moments of uncertainty are so intense that many succumb to despair. But the chosen, though shaken, do not give up. They find within themselves a strength that drives them to take one more step, and then another, even when it feels as if the ground is disappearing beneath their feet. The test of faith teaches lessons that cannot be learned in any other way. It shows us that we do not always need to see the entire path to keep moving forward. Sometimes, it is enough to trust that the next step will bring us closer to the light. This trust, even when everything around seems uncertain, is what sets the chosen apart from others. This test is not easy. It demands an emotional and spiritual strength that can only be developed through challenges like this one. It is in the midst of darkness that true faith is forged, not as an absolute certainty, but as a deliberate choice to believe, even when all evidence suggests otherwise. The chosen learn that faith does not mean ignoring pain or pretending that everything is fine. On the contrary, it is about acknowledging the pain, feeling the fear, and yet choosing to move forward. It is understanding that storms do not last forever, and that even in the darkest moments, there is something greater at work, guiding them toward a higher purpose. If you are facing this test now, know that you are at a crucial point in your journey. Take a deep breath and trust. Take one step at a time, even if everything around you seems uncertain. Remember, faith is not the absence of doubt, but the courage to continue despite it. Chosen one, your journey demands this trust. And as you pass through this phase, you will discover a strength within yourself that you never imagined you possessed. The test of surrender, letting go, and trusting the flow of life. The test of surrender is one of the deepest and most challenging that the chosen face. It demands something that goes against our nature, abandoning the illusion of control and fully trusting the course of life. It is a moment of yielding, where one learns that surrender is not synonymous with giving up or weakness, but with courage and strength to accept what cannot be changed. Surrender is an invitation to let the current of life guide you to the right destination, even when the path seems uncertain or beyond your understanding. Our society teaches us to value control, to feel secure only when we have defined plans and predictable outcomes. However, the test of surrender deconstructs this belief, asking us to let go of the reins and trust in something greater. It doesn't mean stopping your efforts or abandoning your goals, but accepting that not everything depends on your will. It is recognizing that there is a higher intelligence at work, guiding events to unfold at the ideal time and in the ideal way. Letting go of control is extremely challenging, especially because our ego is accustomed to trying to command every detail of our lives. Surrender means setting aside the ego, with its incessant demands for certainty and dominance, and accepting the vulnerability of not knowing what comes next. This process can bring discomfort, but it also offers incredible freedom. When we stop fighting against the tide, we discover that the natural flow of life takes us where we truly need to be. The chosen understand that surrender is not weakness, but strength. It is an act of deep trust, where you learn to accept the present moment as it is. Surrender is ceasing to resist what life presents, and instead welcoming changes and challenges with faith. It doesn't mean giving up on your dreams, but allowing them to unfold in the right time and way, without forcing or manipulating the outcomes. This process of surrender doesn't happen instantly. It is gradual and requires practice, patience, and self-observation. Often, life will place you in repeated situations that challenge you to let go of control once again. In these moments, you realize that by surrendering, you don't lose what is essential. Instead, you make space for something new and better. Surrender also brings a profound sense of peace. When you accept that you cannot control everything, you free yourself from the tension and strain of trying to hold on to things that are not within your command. This yielding creates space for the universe to work in your favor, bringing new opportunities and experiences aligned with your purpose. Surrender is not passivity. It is a powerful action that requires trust. It is the ability to accept that life has its own rhythms, and that often, what seems like a detour is actually part of the path. It is recognizing that some doors need to close so others can open. It is a delicate balance between acting on what is within your reach and trusting in what lies beyond your control. When the chosen face this test and pass through it, they discover an indescribable inner freedom. They stop carrying the burden of trying to control every detail and learn to flow with life. This yielding does not mean they have given up. Rather, they have aligned themselves with a greater wisdom that guides every step with precision. If you are facing the test of surrender, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What am I trying to control that I could let go of? Letting go of control may seem frightening at first, but it is in this act of yielding that you will find your greatest strength. Trust, chosen one. Life knows exactly where it is taking you. 7. The test of awakening. The encounter with inner truth. Chosen ones, the test of awakening is the pinnacle of your spiritual journey. It is here that everything you have faced before, the pain, the challenges, the doubts, finally makes sense. This test is not merely a milestone, but the moment when you realize that you have never been disconnected from the divine essence or the greater purpose. Awakening is not an external event, but a revelation that arises from within. It shows you that everything you sought outside has always been present, waiting to be discovered. Upon reaching this stage, you understand that the purpose of your life is not something you need to conquer or achieve, but the authentic expression of who you are. The sense of separation, of being adrift or out of place, vanishes. You realize that you are part of something far greater, intrinsically and inseparably connected to the whole. This awakening does not merely dispel doubts and fears. It replaces them with a profound clarity that guides each step with confidence and alignment. The test of awakening demands more than understanding. It requires acceptance. Acceptance that you no longer need to struggle to find your purpose because it is already within you. This acceptance is liberating. It dissolves the chains of fear and the limitations imposed by the ego, allowing you to live authentically, free from the need for external approval or the pressure to meet unrealistic expectations. Reaching this moment does not mean the path was easy. On the contrary, it was marked by pains and necessary confrontations that helped you shed everything that is not true. Each previous test played a fundamental role in preparing you for this moment. The confrontation with your inner truth, the solitude of silence, detachment, the darkness of the soul, trust in the unseen, and surrender to the flow of life were crucial steps. Together, they stripped away layers of illusion and revealed the essence of who you truly are. This awakening is, above all, a call to live fully and consciously. It is not about perfection or the absence of future challenges, but about a new way of approaching life. With awakening, you gain the ability to see the world with new eyes, recognizing the connection between all things and assuming your role as co-creators of reality. Chosen ones who reach this stage not only find peace, but become sources of inspiration for others. Your presence begins to radiate confidence, wisdom, and unconditional love. You become beacons, illuminating the path for those still at the beginning of their journeys, showing that transformation is possible and that the light has always been within each of us. Chosen ones, the test of awakening is not the end. It is the beginning of a life lived with purpose, alignment, and freedom. It is the moment to fully embrace who you are and to let your light shine without fear. Now that you have come this far, reflect. What still holds you back from living with complete authenticity? Share your journey, help other chosen ones find this same awakening, and remember, your light is essential to this world. The chosen are not defined by extraordinary gifts at birth or any divine privilege. What sets them apart is the courage to face the most intense challenges life has to offer, and the determination to emerge, transformed on the other side. They are forged in the midst of pain, doubt, and trials that most avoid or fear. It is the journey of accepting discomfort, confronting the unknown, and seeking truth that makes them unique. Each test the chosen face is not a punishment, but an opportunity. These experiences strip away illusions, masks, and the chains of the ego, revealing the authentic and illuminated essence of who they truly are. It is not an easy path. It requires persistence in moments of darkness, faith when everything feels uncertain, and the strength to let go of what no longer serves. But the reward is unparalleled, a life lived with purpose, alignment, and freedom. Chosen one, if you have come this far, know that you are already on this journey. Perhaps you are confronting inner silence, letting go of what no longer resonates with your essence, or trusting in the unseen. Each stage, no matter how challenging, is a step toward your transformation. Now I ask you, which of these tests do you feel you are facing today? Comment below and share your experience. Your journey can inspire other chosen ones who are seeking the strength to move forward. And remember, you are exactly where you need to be.